Hello and welcome to Kickstarter Talk. Even when our internet is sucky, we're still here to show you the amazing Kickstarters that are now available for your viewing pleasure, and so you can pledge to support the creation of new worlds. This week we're talking about bringing Kinky back for you to back on Kickstarter, plus so much more. My name is Mr. Anderson. That's Cracker in the background, growling at something. We're going to get you through the list as quick as we can. We're dealing with a little bit of internet issues, so if you see some lag or some slowing down of the video, I apologize. Irma's still having an effect down here in Florida. We're going to get through it. We're going to get through it together. So let's start off with these Kickstarters to fall in love with. As always, we always talk about $1 can make dreams come true. Usually at this point in the show, we'd have our kicker of the week. We actually do not have a chosen Kickstarter of the week this week, only because we have a couple new exciting titles and we don't have as much time as we normally do on the show. So we might do a midweek show or a late week show, maybe do one live from Tampa Bay Comic-Con. We'll see. But for now, we're just going over supporting everyone with $1. Everyone, I mean, if you get every Kickstarter on here $1, it would matter because every person would get $1. So how cool would that be? Speaking of support your R4 and Autistic Jedi. With this patch to show you support, every dollar raised will be put towards them bringing this R4A unit to DragonCon in 2018. So please support. The information is right here, and you can find it in our chat room right now. Fantasy and stories are explored. You have 3 days left for Midgard. We're going to try to dive into this and take a look at it. 3 days to go. We'll see what's going on with it. We have the Salvagers, the Wreck Raiders by Bob Sally. Amazing guy. He's actually on our Kickstarter list twice today. We have Dragonstein. Get your Kickstarter boogie in with this half vampire, half monster. Definitely check out Dragonstein. Veterans Life. We're going to talk a lot about this today with everything that's going on with the football controversy. So we're going to talk about supporting veterans. We're not going to talk about the football controversy. We're only going to talk about supporting veterans. So we're still not going political. We're just going to talk about why it's important to support the veterans. The Fourth Monkey, an anthology of awareness. I am proud to be part of it. Bob Sally's part of it. We have a whole list of other creators who are part of it that I want to show you when we get into it a little bit more. And you guys can see some things right there. What's this? Is this No Road Home? Is this written by Charlie P.U.? I believe that Pin-U. I believe that's how to say that. Charlie's in the chat room right now. This is amazing Kickstarter. Just doing fantastic on the platform of Kickstarter. Couldn't be prouder of Charlie. An amazing guy. Cowgirl Ninja continues to fight Nazis in Japanese death metal matches. It's Cowgirl Ninja, the niece, or just niece. Kickstarter to expand a Powerverse. When you support this Kickstarter, you can get 2 amazing comics. This is War as Hell. We're going to talk more about what those 2 comics are. What do we got here? Fetish Babies has returned. I know everyone's like, wait, wasn't Fetish Babies supposed to be on October 1st? But with everything going on with the hurricanes and all, we decided to go a little early. We're going to talk about Fetish Babies Aftermath on the program today, as it's now on Kickstarter. Speaking of Kickstarter, just today, Pixie Dust, an epic fantasy hardcore graphic novel from the great Russell Notel, is part of the program. We couldn't be happier to have him back. Are you one of us? Simply put, are you tired of the reboot bullshit culture, the same shit every fucking day, and comic books that suck because they're not touching real topics and trying to put agendas or propaganda down your throat? That's what Written Sins is about. It's showing you new worlds, fantastic new universes, fantastic writers from the indie market, bringing to life things that you would not see in Marvel and DC. No hate on them. They just don't cover what we cover, and that's fantastic. And we have 2 other ones that we're going to be talking about today on the program. We have Izanai, the Were Spider. I think I'm saying that right. Fantastic new one. I don't know much about it. We're going to talk about it today. And we're also going to talk about Ace Blade 3, the undercard. That's Jax the Anderson running around the background. He's excited about what's on the show today, too. So let's get involved. Let's start with Midgard. Now, Midgard has 3 days to go, 38 backers, $1,332. Now, that's fantastic. on 38 backers. I got to say, I've had 50 backers and we didn't break 1,000. So that is fantastic. Midgard is this great art. Jack Holder was a fan of it. He pointed it out to us. Fantastic art. We're not going to go into it very much because it has funded. And this is going to be a shorter show because we are limited with our service, and I am nervous about losing connectivity. So because this is funded, we're going to tell everyone to just kindly do your best to share this and support it if this is yours, if you like this. We're going to give you the pitch, though, as always, and here's the pitch coming at you. Midgard is help us kick off a thrilling, ongoing anthology of fantasy stories exploring every rich corner or every corner of a rich, diverse, magical world. This is Midgard. Fantastic book. Definitely check it out. You have limited time, so get on it now. Fantastic, fantastic fantasy realm book. Check it out. Salvagers. Now, Salvagers is doing phenomenal. He asked for 6,500, 9,050, 351 backers. Now, remember I said every dollar counts? Here's why every dollar counts. Bob Sally has done an amazing job of just cranking out all these fantastic Kickstarters and ideas. So now, what winds up happening is that as people back it, and this happens, the bigger you get, this is like a little bit of a tip for you guys. As you start to build this base of people, they all start to sign up and follow you. Now, as they follow you, they wind up signing up. So now, as they follow you and they wind up pledging for a Kickstarter, you wind up knowing about it because you're following them. And then people follow them and people follow them. So suddenly, all the people who are following each other know about this great title from, excuse me, from Bob Sally. And it's like, oh, wow, like I found out about this before anything else. Bob Sally didn't bring it to me. I wound up going to him and asking if we could cover it because I found out through an email that I got while I was out, and I backed it right away. So that's just the amazing thing about Kickstarter is that you wind up getting everything behind you. So that is really, really cool. And it's very important that we establish the fact that building a fan base is also part of that. But every dollar counts matters in this regard. Okay, remember I just told you that every time you back someone, you wind up getting that email, and you wind up seeing someone say, oh, well, they just backed this. And that's how I found out. One of my friends backed something from Bob Sally. And then I got the email from Bob Sally, ironically, a few minutes later saying he'd launched it. So I got 2 emails, and it tells me right away because I'm following these people. But if I just gave $1, that means that I think I have 35 people following me right now, plus, of course, what I have on Written Sins when I share it. When I do that, I'm building a bigger audience for Bob Sally as well, with just pledging $1, because no one knows what I pledged. And I did pledge more than $1. But no one knows what I pledged. All they know is that I did pledge. And by pledging, I show support. So I can support a person for $1 and make other people believe that I believe in that product, which I do. I've never given $1 to a project I haven't. And I don't want anyone assuming that I have done that just to help someone. If I don't like your Kickstarter, I will not back it. And I won't put it on the show. We've said no to a couple of Kickstarters. If I think your Kickstarter is, decent, you'll get on the show and you get $1. We don't cover just everyone. It has to meet a quality standard. And we have said no. So I want you to know that. But every time we put $1 towards it, we raise this mark. Now you come here as a consumer, and we're all consumers, let's be honest, and you see that 351 people have backed it. You got to ask yourself, if you're watching this video right now, why haven't I backed it? I don't know anyone who won't see a number of 351 backers and not be impressed by that. I mean, he asked for $6,500, raising going to be 10 grand. 7 days to go, he's going to hit 10 grand more than likely. That's impressive, right? But when you hear that 351 people support him, come on. You know you're impressed. It's okay to be impressed. It's okay to look at Bob Sally. I'll tell you right now, I'm an indie comic book creator. I've got 19,000 followers through Written Sin, more followers through all this shit. It doesn't matter in the end of the day. It does not simply matter how many followers I have. And I look more towards the people that I aspire to be. And I'd rather be Bob Sally any day of the week from all the creators, because that guy knows how to hustle. And we got some good hustlers on this show today. We got some amazing Kickstarters for people who know how to hustle. Bob Sally's one of those guys. And because he hustles so hard, look at his numbers. That is a credit to the hustle, credit to the quality, and credit to the marketability of what he does. He knows how to market what he does. He is an amazing creator. He is someone to aspire to and follow. Get on his live videos, watch him do his thing. And support, man, support matters. And he'll tell you, he'll be one of the first people to tell you that every ounce of support is gonna matter. And this is the way to get forward, is to get people to support you. And support can come in a dollar form. I want everyone to understand that. I've had so many people go, oh, Rob, you know, I would back your project, but, you know, honestly, I don't have a lot of money right now. And I tell them, okay, if you don't have a lot of money, and I've been there. I've been to the point where I had to split a fucking hamburger with my wife one night because we were doing bad one week. We all have shitty weeks. So there's times you can't do it. I tell everyone, a share is important, because when you share it, you're going to show it to someone. And when you show it to someone, they're going to back it. And then they're going to put that extra number up there. And then they're going to spread it. That's how things become viral, through sharing. It's not what Facebook puts down our throat. It's what we share with each other. And remember that. Don't like something. If you believe in something, you hit that share button. You be serious about it. Bob Sally and the Salvagers.
Hi, I'm Bob Sally, creator of Salvagers. While the art team is hard at work finishing up the conclusion of Wreck Raiders Part 4, you have the opportunity to jump on this Kickstarter. You can back it for just the conclusion if you've already been reading it, or you can get the Volume 2 as a whole. While this Kickstarter pre-sale is going on until the end of September, you're going to be able to get some awesome exclusive free stuff. When we reach the first 100 backers, those backers will get a free download. When we get to the next 200 backers, all 200 of those backers will also get a free download. So while the Kickstarter is going on, you're going to get free stuff.
Well, how amazing is that? He's giving free stuff. This is the stuff. I mean, take out your notepads if you're an indie creator and listen to what he's doing and copy it. And he'll be the first one to tell you won't care that you copy it. He's always trying to help other creators. We're not comedians. We're not stealing each other's lines. If these ideas work and you can pull them off, pull them off. Don't steal what he writes. Don't steal his characters, and don't do anything that without his permission with his creations. But when it comes to something like that, how amazing is that? An incentive that immediately delivers. That's not a bad idea.
Enjoy. So check out the video and then dive into the Kickstarter and check out all the rewards we're offering. And as always, thank you so much for the support. Enjoy.
Bob, that's a really weird place to jump into the video, considering it's at the end. I love you, but that's kind of simple. I think you should have put that at the very beginning. Beyond that, just a fantastic mind. I'm looking forward to hanging out with him at New York Comic Con just in a week. Not this weekend, but next weekend. I'm actually going to be able to be around Bob Sally, pick his brain. Remember, we learn from each other, good and bad. We learn from each other, support each other. And support also starts with $1 on Kickstarter to Salvagers. Help him get to 400 people, man. Give $1. Drakenstein. Oh, Drakenstein has actually funded, so that's really cool, actually. I'm really excited to see that they did. I don't know when it came to life. All the internet issues we're having, it was just out of place, just fantastic. I love this. This is Kim Roberts. For anyone who backed this that watches the video, if you back this and you can, Kim confirms it, I'll give you, and they call us monsters, because just thank you for supporting it and being on this show. So obviously you've heard about it in this show, and I want to show support to you guys who did it. And I think it's a complimentary book to the two of them. I would just love, can't wait to get this on my hands. Veteran's Wife. Okay, we were talking about this whole football thing and taking a knee. We're not going to talk about taking the knee, but we're going to talk about the more important thing, supporting our veterans. And What I want to say to you guys about this, and I'm going to make it quick so everyone's been preaching in your ear, but it's important to talk about, is these guys, they give up something in their life to support us and to go to different countries, and they come home and it's hard. It's hard to leave your home for years at a time and then come back and be expected to pick up when you've had such a life of just, I guess I would say you have a life of constant scheduling and constantly people telling you to do this, do that, do this. We need to support the people who sacrifice so much for us, because they are sacrificing for us. Because they're sacrificing for us, we need to be willing to sacrifice for them by doing the simplest things in the world, like sharing posts, writing an article for the magazine, joining the writing staff, you know, buy a magazine for you or your friend, you know, show support, subscribe to the magazine, or do what I'm going to do, and I'm planning to donate tickets to Comic-Cons when I have extra copies, including New York Comic-Con. So I'm going to be getting in touch with Josh today or tomorrow about donating to it. That's just Jax in the background. He's got the hungers. He needs a Snickers bar. Moving on to the fourth monkey. So make sure to support the veterans. Here's the fourth monkey. I'm going to let the creators talk and do the pitch for them. Sorry, buffering. Buffering. There we
Fourth Monkey, an anthology for awareness, is a 100-page book featuring 8 short stories centered around environmental and social issues. The contributing creators picked subjects based on that central theme, some with very personal ties, and went to work telling the stories, combining fantastic storytelling with beautiful art. There are a lot of problems in the world, and we can't possibly tackle them all. Fourth Monkey is our attempt to tell stories that are pulled right out of the hearts of the creators, and attempt to bring some awareness to them. And while you may feel stronger about some than you do others, the quickest way to someone's heart is through a story. So if you finish this book with some anger towards the way things are, the slightest thirst for some more knowledge, or were simply entertained, then I like to think that we did our job.
Now, I mean, I want to stop right here, and I just want to talk about this. We're going to go back. Look at this amazing set of creators, okay? You got Bob Sally. You got Brian Hawkins. We just talked about Bob Sally. Brian Hawkins is the gentleman who brought us together, The American Kingdom. Chris Mad, fantastic artist. You've seen his work on my book, Fetish Babies. He was on The Untold. He's done other projects like Vola, we just saw a few weeks ago. Just a fantastic artist. Daniel Farrand, I think I'm saying that wrong this week. Just a fantastic writer of and creator of The Untold. Ed Jimizzi is a great artist. HDA is the letterer on the program. James Eric Hudson is not only the artist on my project, but a close personal friend. It's great to work with him. James R. Roche, I believe is how you pronounce that. Just a great guy. Always happy. Just had a kid actually too. Wanted to congratulate him. I think the child, I don't know what his name is. I believe it's a baby boy. I just came home from the hospital, so that's fantastic time. I hope it came home from the hospital. I think I saw something like that. Jose Haro, I think it's Haro. I believe is an artist in this. John Jensen, I believe, is an artist. Kelly Bender, everyone knows Kelly Bender. Great guy. Kote Cardravo. Chris Mad, I'm not sure they have him twice in different ways. I believe that was supposed to be Shauna Mad, unless there's two Chris's. Christoph Harris, Madeline is Boston Metaphysical Society. Nick Torres, I believe, is an artist. Raphael Andre is also I believe, an artist. Rob Anderson, he's the guy talking to you. How awesome is that? I'm involved in it, talking about social awareness. We're going to talk about more of that most. There's Russell. That means 3 of us are on 2 different Kickstarters at once. Isn't that wild? You know, that's how big we are. There's Shauna Mad, the colorist for both Chris Mad and Daniel Faraday's amazing story, and Stan Yankin. Let's talk about these stories. Okay, so social awareness brought to you by indie comic book creators, so you know you're getting fantastic stories. Let's talk about those stories. And they all have one-page previews that are awesome. Spend the time, come look at it. Dark Waters, Ocean Pollution by James E. Roach and Huss Ozen. You got Painted Prey. This is about poaching from Daniel Faraday, Chris Madd, and Shauna Madd. You have No Going Back. This is from about suicide from Brian Hawkins and Crystal Harris. You have Empty Bottles from Alcoholism Topic from Kelly Bender, Raphael Anallard, and Anna Red, and Thomas Marjavrecki. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but it's a great story. The Scout, this is about pesticides from Madeline Holly. Rosing, Ed Jimsey, and Cote Caravaggio. Very hard names in this, so you know it's serious. Big names. Big names means very artistic. Not like Anderson. Well, Anderson's such not a cool name. You got to change it and make it an S-I-N. The Damaged, about mental abuse. It's from Bob Sally. How awesome is that? Bob Sally, Stan Yank, and Josh Jensen. Oh, there we go. Colors. Josh Jensen is an artist. And look at this fantastic thing here about social bullying. And now I just wanted to talk about this very briefly, very quickly. But this weekend, a lot of people in the indie comics, and those of you who are not into indie comics, but you might not know what we're talking about, so don't worry about it. We got to see something that was disturbing, and in the pro, quote unquote, pro industry. Not a lot of people acting like pros online this weekend, though. Let me tell you, social media is the curse of humanity because it empowers people to say some of the dumbest shit that they're ever going to say in their life. It's like social media puts a microphone in part of that stupid voice in your head that you normally ignore, that for some reason when you sit behind a keyboard, that dumb voice that we all ignore. We wouldn't say that shit to our friends. We wouldn't say it out loud. But for some reason, that stupid voice gets that control. That's what this story is about. It's about that stupid voice. It's about how we do dumb shit, you know, online. We talk about things that we shouldn't be talking about online. And instead of being supportive, well, that zoomed in real good. And instead of being supportive with each other, we do this stuff where we're very anti-supportive of each other. And I'm very disappointed in our society. And that's why I wrote something about social awareness. I want you guys to see that what you do online matters. It does. Whether you like it or not, what you do online is going to leave an impression. So a story like this was only going to come out. And the interesting thing about this story, and I won't say cool because someone died. I wrote this story, and I didn't know about that girl, who I don't even know her name, and I don't think it's worth repeating her name after what she did. Pretty much encouraged someone to take their life, and that's horrible. It's horrible to use social media, and for me, social media was a place where, and we'll talk more about this when I get to Fetish Babies. It was somewhere where I found comfort when I was younger, talking to people who were just like me. And it breaks my heart that it's now used to bully people. And I don't like bullies. I hate bullies. I can't stand them. And I think it was really horrible what happened. And it was even worse for me to be having written a story that sounds similar to the events of real life, to see it unfold suddenly on CNN. And I remember I talked to Daniel and I talked to Eric that day, and I was like, can we still go on with the story? Do I have to change the story? It's going to look like I just ripped it off the headlines and did a story. And I was like, is it still relevant? And both of them calmed me down and told me, no, it's still relevant. Don't worry. If anything, it's going to be more relevant now. Because I didn't want to feel like I was poaching on something, especially when I found out someone had really died. Because in my comic, in this, someone does die. Someone takes their life because of the online abuse. So, I mean, it's different stories. They're not completely at all alike, but there are some things. The other thing that I was really proud about this story is that it's about freedom of speech. I wanted to really show, like, the idea of what do we really have with freedom of speech? Is freedom of speech infinitive? Because it's not infinitive. We know it's not infinitive. We know we can't just say things about people that are slander. So where does that line stop being freedom and starts being costly? And that's what this is about. Jax is just jumping around in the background. But it's about when does it become costly? And sometimes the cost isn't the one that we pay entirely. So, I mean, you have topics like that. You have topics like ocean pollution. You have topics about mental abuse, like Bob Sally did. And I believe, oh yeah, Russell's is about political polarization, which is another topic that we really need to talk more about, and how horrible it is right now that seems to be a trend, and it seems to be something that's just going on in a very bad way. So, I mean, this is the Kickstarter that's going to make you stop and think, and it's being brought to you by some of the most amazing creators. I won't say that we're the smartest guys. It's not like that. But we definitely know how to create, and I think each one of us in our own right as writers has shown you worlds of just thoughtfulness, and shows you that we really do think, and we're very passionate about what we do. And I think that's important with the Kickstarter. And I think that, you know, I think you all agree with me. You know, the stories in there are very powerful, and I couldn't be happier to be part of such an amazing project. It's one of those things that I will truly be proud of for the rest of my career. And I will always look back and be able to talk about being proud of sharing this moment. I mean, it's an amazing project. Let me just put it to you that way. It really is an amazing project. Not just my book, part of the book, but all the other parts of the book. It's telling stories that you can only tell in indie comics. I would never see Marvel doing a book like this. And that's what, once again, is so amazing about indie comics, is that we really can take chances, and we can do these amazing things that other creators might not be able to do. So I always encourage everyone to be part of the conversation and read books like this and get a different point of view. You know, that's kind of important with social media too, how it's taken off. It's okay to have an opinion that's your own. You don't have to agree with everyone. If someone says that you have to agree with them, they're not your friend. They're the fifth monkey, the annoying monkey, the monkey who's not allowed in the picture. That's who they are. Back the fourth monkey. You'll thank me. That's the Kickstarter to back right now, is the fourth monkey. If you have to pick any Kickstarter, and that's me saying it right now with having a Kickstarter on this, if you have to back one Kickstarter, you can only choose one Kickstarter this week. Pick this one. It is just the best one on the list. Flat out. That says something, because I really believe in the Kickstarter that we're about to see. So we're running out of time severely. So I wanted to get to No Road Home, so let's check out No Road Home.
Will this room hold your breath? Flakes of skins on the threadbare.
Hey everyone, I'm Trent, the president and CCO of Crank Angel Studios.
Douglas Brown, visual thinker, and all-around creative guy.
And not too bad looking, here working for you. We're coming together right now just to talk to you for a second about our latest Kickstarter for No Road Home. It's our issue 0 for our world that we're trying to push, Dawn's Early Light. Just want to take a couple of moments of your time to talk about how much of a pleasure it's been to work with Mr. Brown on this. Really quick, why are we here? Why are we asking for your support? And it's because, man, it's expensive, not just to get it drawn, but colored in the wording and to get it printed in the cover. Thank you, Mr. Gooch. To get it all done and orchestrated.
Now, normally I would let that fully play, but like I said, I'm on limited time tonight. No Road Home has already funded, doing a fantastic job. Join a group of teenagers as they see a post-apocalyptic world, an American renaissance for the first time. Swords, spells, monsters, and mutants. 22 pages of amazing comic can be yours with a simple pledge. Dustin's Caffeinated Cowgirl Ninja. We did see that there was a video down here. I definitely am amazed by it. It has reached its goal. Let me see if Charlie said it's a very long video. You don't have to show the whole thing. Here it is. Oh, that's right. There's no video. We learned that last week. Okay, so basically, we learned that the cowgirl is niece. She's number 3. She's coming. She's an 8-year-old. Abby's Polish family was abducted by the Nazis. Her uncle sent her on a 10-year-long journey, so she's about 18. She adopted the lifestyle of a cowboy. a cowgirl, I should say, and the skills of a ninja. She has learned in and outs of professional wrestling from the Heart Dungeon in Calgary, which I'm not sure the Heart Dungeon was around during the Nazis, but fuck it, it's a comic book. Have fun. Just fantastic. Amazing comic book. Check it out. It's fun, especially with all you people who want to see Nazis getting punched. You're welcome. You now have a comic book. War is Hell. Check it out, kids. Buckle up. This one's going to get bumpy. That is some kick-ass action going on there. So here's the deal. I know we said we'd talk about the deal, so here's the deal. You can get Chess and Cerebrus for backing this in the rewards level. So how cool is that? Fire in the Hand. You get a printed copy of Cerebrus or Chess issue 1. You decide. And then you get double the trauma. So this is 2 different comics starting at the same time. That would explain the goal of 3,200 because they're doing 2 of them at the same time, which is kind of cool. I mean, that's one of the advantages to being part of the Powerverse universe, and Vince White brings it to you. You can do 2 comics at once. And I remember Powerverse was what brought us Palm. It was the celebrity one. I think it's Palm. I forgot what it means. It's from Markel Dupree. I love that thing. It is it's not Pieces of Me. It's crap. I can't think of the name now. But it's an amazing thing. I know it's POM because they did it so long. It's gonna bother me. We're actually gonna look at it now. Luckily, it's my show, so I can always just check out Written Sins and look up Markel Dupree. Loading. We're going to get back to that in a minute. So Markel Dupree is part of the Powerverse. So this is a fantastic group of creators coming together, building a brand new universe, and they kind of interact, which is kind of cool. Oh, let's see. Sorry about the buffering. All right, let's see what we got over here. I didn't see this video before. So.
Cristelli, creator of Red Knight and Martha Brown, and I'm in.
Rodney Jean-Etienne. My character is Blue Jay. I'm in.
Hi, this is Russ Walton, aka Grim Rascal, the creator of Landshark here on Megalodon and the Notorious Fly Guy, and we're in.
I'm Eric Leggs with Genesis Comics, and I am with Vince White and Powerverse.
Hi, I'm Andrew Hines. I've got Cerberus, Omega, and the Hero Corps. And
hello, Nigel Flood here. I'm creator of The Citizen and United Nationalists from Punt Press, and I'm in.
My name is Jerry Hines, creator of Supercross, and I'm in.
I'm in.
I like the last guy. He was just like, I'm in. I don't know if he said his name. It got cut out.
Of Legend of Willpower. This is the Powerverse, and we're all in. Are you?
We're talking mind over matter, matter over mind.
All right, I don't know if there's copyright reasons that we can't show that. So whenever I don't know if there's copyright infringement, possibly, we cut the video short, nothing to do with them. Just because Facebook winds up kicking us off live, and I don't want to deal with that right now. And then YouTube sends me a letter that says that there are people who are putting ads on my thing. I am still looking for that thing from Markel. Let me see if we look up POM on unwritten sins. All right, here we go. So it's still bothering me. I cannot believe I can't remember what the hell POM stood for. Oh, it is Piece of Me. I always think of Casey Pierce. Yeah, Piece of Me, superhero celebrity magazine. See, I think of Casey Pierce when I hear Pieces of Me, because she had that Kickstarter, so that's what probably threw me. But they are part of that too. You can see right here how it looks like an amazing beginning to a great universe. And this is your way to jump on it and get a fantastic t-shirt while you're at it. But I gotta say, there's like a fantastic Kickstarter that just started. It's pretty good. You ready? It's called Fetish Babies Aftermath.
What happened?
Sometimes surviving feels worse. I knew I was never in danger of dying, but I was in danger of having to live through those memories over and over again for years to come. A moment in time that I feared had stolen away my beloved fetishes.
What happened? Who is Bruce?
What's next?
What happened?
For months, people asked us after the release of Fetish Babies, what's next? Fetish Babies Aftermath is what's next. Come join us as the story goes into the after effects of a night gone wrong. Can Barbara regain the fetishes she feels are stolen from her? Is there a way for Barbara to live the lifestyle she's always dreamed of? Is this the end of Barbara and fetish altogether? Join us as we explore the answers in Fetish Babies Aftermath.
Now, as I said earlier, we have gone early deliberately because of all the stuff with Irma and the Tampa Bay MegaCon. Everything has been running a little off with the internet and all that. So I wanted to go a little early. Normally we would have gone October 1st, but I just wanted it to get up and running and get that off my plate to make sure it was up. With that said, here we are. We're live. There's a picture of Alyssa. This is, I mean, you have to have read the first book to really understand why asking what's next is so important. You could pick this book up, and I think if you read it, it explains it well enough of what happened that you don't need the first book necessarily to enjoy this book, but it will definitely add to it. As always, the philosophy behind our story is the story is dedicated to those born with a fetish for BDSM, to let you know you're not alone. This is a story, and it is our way to show the world that we are more than just the misconceptions that people have about fetishes. We're not just these leather-wearing jokes or these monsters. We're not always the bad guys. There's so much more in it. And psychology will agree with us that there is something more that 50 Shades of Grey couldn't understand, because basically you had a fiction writer who liked Twilight trying to make BDSM fun for 2 books to make it interesting so you'd buy it so you'd see her shitty story. And I say that actually knowing how the story is. As a matter of fact, I didn't have to read my story. My wife was pregnant. We'd already written Fetish Babies, and she was pregnant, and she wanted to just read it to see, because it's definitely something that I talked a lot of shit about. So she read it, and she's in the background. How bad was it?
What?
How bad was Fetish Babies? It wasn't that bad, but it was, I was able to tell you the whole story without reading it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't read a book. I could tell you the whole story.
A boring romance with a little bit of fetish in it.
It's like sprinkled fetish on it. Like, look, fetish, it's interesting now. Please read it.
Version of fetish.
It's what?
Cupcake.
Cupcake. It's the cupcake version of fetish. And the problem with that, and I can make fun of it all day, and you know, they always say if you don't like something, do something about it. Well, I did. I made a comic book series. It's far better than 50 Shades of Grey. More like 50 Shades of BS. But the reason I get so mad about it, it's not because they wrote about it. It's not because of the way they did it. And it's certainly not because of the sales. I'm happy that there were so many sales. What I'm unhappy about is that people got hurt. Legitimately, people got hurt. Abuse rose. People did things they didn't understand. Things changed in a very negative way in the BDSM community, both in good and bad. And what's so powerful about this story, and that one thing I thought 50 Shades did a very horrible job, is that basically she's abused. And they don't talk about that abuse. And this book's not going to be just about abuse. And there's definitely going to be a different tone with issue number 3 as we go on. The tone begins to change. But I really wanted to show from the beginning the dangers of BDSM. I wanted the readers, when they join us, to understand it's not always simple. And it's not always going to be fun, especially if you don't know what the hell you're doing. Like anything else. I mean, just imagine getting behind a car and trying to drive without getting one lesson. You know? Maybe some people pick it up naturally, but a lot of people can crash and get hurt. It's kind of what happens when you don't understand BDSM. And this book's a perfect way to start to begin to understand BDSM. And it begins to instantly show you something that's very important, and that's that what you do is going to have a lasting effect. The back cover, we're going to do 2 covers on it. The front cover is this, and you can see she's burning some BDSM stuff, including the outfit she wore. She's at that point like where she feels like she has to walk away from BDSM and fetish. And here's a moment where the Barbara that we get to meet in the comic book, who's already been changed by it's looking at her older self, who's upset about what she let herself get into. And we've all been there. We've all made that mistake. We've all fucked up and done something that affects us. And just imagine being able to stand over yourself in one of your worst moments of your life and be able to look at it. And I thought this cover was very powerful. So we wound up going with a double wrap cover. So I thought that was important. We're still on the fence about whether or not we're gonna go for magazine size or comic book size. But I can tell you this, that this Kickstarter, if we get enough funding, we're really hoping to reach $3,000. We're only asking for $1,250, but if we can reach $3,000, we're going to put issue number 3 in this and do this as a double-sized issue. Now, for many people, I know that a lot of people were expecting book 2 to be a double-sized issue. We did aim to do that originally, but there were earthquakes and hurricanes. Earthquakes and hurricanes wound up causing a bit of an issue. The hurricane caused me not to realize how bad off my artist was. And when I reached out to him because things were falling off to the side, he told me how bad it was. So the 3rd issue is coming along. We aren't able to put it in time, and if it was in time, we would have had a goal of $3,000. Right now, it's going to be delayed. So we wanted to go with issue number 2, which can stand on its own. It's going to be 24 pages, the comic book. So it's not at all short. It's a well-told story. It's actually a very powerful story, and I'm very proud of the story. We are tight on time, and I'm going to be talking about a lot about this. I just wanted to be able to introduce you to our fantastic artists. Many people know Satine did our first book, brought it to life, did an amazing job. We have Tamara. I'm not even going to try to say her last name. Probably Chekovic. There I went anyway. Something around that way. I shouldn't have done it, but you know, she's doing an amazing job. She's brought some amazing talents to this project, and we didn't know who could take over after Satine, and she made us confident that there is life after Satine on Fetish Babies. And Leah Letterman is returning as our editor. And of course, we're going to showcase some of Satine's art, so we want to, of course, mention her. And Chris Mad, if you guys, and we're more than expecting this is an easy one. If you guys help us raise $500, which our goal is $1,200, so it's not a hard stretch goal, we're going to be releasing new art from Chris Mad that you guys will be able to get as an 8x10. We're walking away from 11x17s. They're hard to mail, and it's hard to put something up like this. So we're going to be doing 8x10s, I believe, or 8x12s going forward. They're a little easier to carry and maybe put somewhere we could look at more privately. We were suggested to do 8x12, so we're probably going to offer it that. But there are 11x17s available in this Kickstarter, including a cool PDF collection. Not just mine, but we're doing an indie comics PDF collection, which is still growing. Like I said, we went a little early on this Kickstarter, so some things weren't fully ready yet. So that collection is going to grow. But I'm very proud of the team that I've brought together, the rewards, and this Kickstarter in general. I do hope you join us for this journey. Speaking of being proud, and definitely Back Fetish Babies, Aftermath. But speaking of being proud of Russell. He's back on Kickstarter with another fantastic book. Let's take a listen. And
hello, everybody. This is Russell Nolte, creator of Ichabod Jones' Monster Hunter, Katrina Hates the Dead, and editor of the...
Sorry, just having buffering issues. I do apologize. We just had another vacant internet moment. All right. While that's loading, let's take a look at what Pixie Dust is. Pixie Dust is a pixie moxie hunter who's betrayed, murdered, sells her soul to the queen of the underworld, and returns as a monster to seek revenge. This is Pixie Dust. All right, so what is Pixie Dust? Pixie Dust is 100% done and is ready to be sent off to the printers. We have completed all 112.
New book, Pixie Dust. Pixie Dust is a 100% complete graphic novel about a pixie monster hunter that is betrayed, murdered, sells her soul to the queen of the underworld, and comes back as a zombie to seek revenge on the king that killed her. And that's right, I did say it is 100% complete. Drawn by Nicholas Torres of Godlikes, Faithless, and Franklin and Ghost, Pixie Dust is 88 pages of art and over 20 pages of back matter content, including pinups by Jen Hickman, Rivinus, Angela Fullard, and many, many more. Most importantly, this is the end of my Monster Hunter trilogy that started with Ichabod Jones' Monster Hunter, continued with Katrina Hates the Dead, and now finishes with Pixie Dust. So here's the deal. The book is 100% complete. We've done all 112 pages of interior art and laid it out. All we're looking for is you to help push us over the edge and help get this book printed. If you do that, you're going to get an amazing book. You're going to get a book that's in hardcover, that's so bound in, that's beautiful. I am very, very good at making beautiful books. So I hope you will come in. I hope you will join us. And I hope you love what you see behind here. If you love epic fantasy, if you love Ichabod, if you love Katrina, if you love what we do at Wannabe Press or any of my other books, I promise you, you're going to love this too. This is the culmination of 10 years of my life. So I hope I see you.
All right, well, I think that's just an okay time for the video to stall out on us again. The one thing is, I promise everyone, I'll reach out to Russell and find out if it's 100% done or not. I want to make sure about that. Russell's a great guy. You guys know him from Monsters and Other Scary Shit. If he says this is going to be fantastic, if he says this is going to be a big deal, mark it on your calendars. It's a big deal. Last two, these are brand new. I know nothing about them, and because I'm having internet issues, I'm not sure we're going to get the videos played. This is The Legend of the Sun Azanin. The spider is a Nanette, continues when he must stop a hive of evil werehornets, bees and wasps. I'm just going to take a look. It's kind of badass, man. Look at his face. That's kind of cool. I think he's shooting him out of his, yeah, you can just shoot him out of his hands. So that's kind of really rock on solid, man. I like it. I like it. I dig it. I don't know if he controls spiders or that. I wish I could get these videos to play. Oh, there we go. We're getting a video.
Hi, my name is Greg Anderson Elise, and I am the writer and creator of Is Nana the Were Spider.
Is Nana. Whoever picked this not as the way to say it is right.
Last year, thanks to great support from people like you, I was able to debut Isnana, the son of Anansi the spider from the West African god of stories. The book has been met with great acclaim, new fans, and supporters throughout the year. And now I'm ready to present the next chapter of Anansi and Isnana's adventures, The Hornet's Web. In this chapter, Isnana's determination to uphold his responsibilities continued as he must face against Queen Mbara and her forces of killer hornets, wasps, and bees, while Anansi must come to terms with the fact that his son is growing to become his own person. Continuing on from the last volume, I'm hoping to bring more stories and characters of African diaspora into Isnana's mythology. Joining this chapter is Daryl Tao, with Nanuski returning on colors, Joshua Zine on letters and production, and returning once again, Walt Msanzabana on the cover. The majority of the book has already been paid for and produced. We are hoping to raise money for printing and merchandise, along with reprints of Volume 1, which is currently sold out. We have tiers and rewards ranging from pin-ups, Isnana the Wear Spider pins, t-shirts, and also a custom Funko Pop. If we exceed our goal, the extra money will go to a 40-page additional story illustrated by Walter Austin, featuring crossovers with other indie properties such as Shiva Buren, Ajala, Madison Ovenland, Bardock the Wanderer, Day Black, and Princess Snuff Pond, each drawn by their creators. The success of last year has proven that outside of the mainstream, there is an audience for these types of stories. Stories from different cultures, with characters of all different types of shades and colors. Let's see if we can do it again. Thank you.
All right, so now everyone talks about diversity, right? Diversity is a cool thing to talk about. It's what everyone talks about. Here's what's great about indie comics. We don't have to talk about diversity because diverse titles are being made. And this is definitely one of those comics that are not only a diverse comic, but it's definitely powerful. You can definitely tell by the description that this is something that's a must-see for anyone who's a fan of comic books. And the different cultures you're being exposed to is fantastic. I can definitely see that on some videos there's some problems at some times, so I apologize for that. But this is a fantastic story that, I mean, this is where diversity lives in indie comics because we're so good at telling honest stories. And this is one of those stories that's definitely honest, it's unique, and it's different. So, I mean, I've never heard of a werewolf spider. Come on, man, that's brand new. And if someone else has seen it, don't tell me. I don't care. I want to believe this is brand new because I believe in this title, and I will be backing this project. I would do it now, but I'm not signed in because everything's crazy here with our internet connection. We keep getting signed out of accounts, and you guys can see I'm not actually signed in the upper corner. I don't know if you can make that out. But I will be backing this, and I'm very happy to have seen it because I was on the Ace Blade Danny J. Quick's page where he was talking about his Kickstarter, and I didn't even know it came. I told him to tell me when it launched. And he didn't tell me, but I reached out to him before the program and got him to say that we could actually cover it. So I'm excited. I got to share a table in an afternoon with this gentleman up in Raleigh, North Carolina, SuperCon. Check out Ace Blade. Now, we're actually getting the video, so I must have gotten some faster speed.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Danny J. Quick. Listen, I know what you're saying right now. Ace Blade number 3. I don't know anything about this Ace Blade dude. Don't even worry about it. Ace Blade number 1. Ace Blade number 2.
No, I didn't stop the video. This is just the reality of living in Florida right now. As I was hanging out with him at Raleigh SuperCon, I found out how passionate.
Absolutely free right now on our website. Ace Blade number 3. We're trying to get all of these books in the comic book stores, and we need your help. We don't have the network. We don't have the access to be able to do it, but we know that you guys know comic book store owners, people who love comic books, who can get them in the stores for us. So that's what we're trying to do. We want to get these 3 books in the stores, and we got one more coming. before the whole saga is finished, this Kickstarter is going to be the last chance that you can get the first edition print of Ace Blade #2, which includes the first appearance of Ace Blade. Bam.
So as the video stalls, I was just saying that he was a very genuine creator, very great guy. I personally know him. I got to spend some time with him. I'm just going to pause this video so
comments, you know,
see, it keeps coming on when I'm talking. The reason I want to bring up the character of the creator and knowing him is that I want you guys to know that there's an energy about him when you're around him. It's so like kid-like in a very positive way. Like he's very excited about what he creates. He's very into it, man. He's definitely excitable about what he creates. And you can see that in this video once it's done loading. And it's done loading. You can see the energy he has. And it's impressive to see it.
It'll be important way down the line. You might want to get you a copy of those right there. This third book is going to be super dope. We got Wally McNair drawing it for us. It's going to be crazy. Look, that's it. That's all I got for you right now. We're giving away, if you want to get caught up, we're giving away the first 2 books while this Kickstarter is going for absolutely free over on our website. All you got to do is go down to the bottom of the page and put in your email address and your name, and we'll send you the first 2 comics digitally for free. And you can catch up, and then you'll know what everything is going on in the book. Yo, I really appreciate you checking this out. Catch you next time.
All right, guys. So, I mean, great Kickstarter, great creator. I'm going to cut the program at this point because I think we've done a great job of talking about it today. And we're actually, many of you guys have seen that we're having some trouble. So I'm going to cut it on the YouTube audience. I will stay for a couple of minutes on the audience of Facebook to answer any questions, make sure I didn't miss anything. Hopefully the video on YouTube came out okay, or if not, we got the backup video over here. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it, guys. I'll see you either later this week for something else, depending on signal. We might do something live. We'll probably do something live from the upcoming Comic-Con Tampa Bay MegaCon, but it probably wouldn't be YouTube. We'd put it on YouTube later. All right, YouTube, stay kinky. Make sure to support Kinky Kickstarters and also support the other ones like Fourth Monkey. Support. If I go through them all, you're going to be on for a while. Support everything today. Give $1 to every Kickstarter you saw today. That's your mission. Go do it.